Hey you guys, welcome. Stay with me. I've got 10 of the cutest and easiest quilt patterns specifically for little boys. Okay. So sometimes they're a little bit harder to kind of figure out, right? And so let's go through these 10. I want to know in the comments what's your favorite. Okay. So this one is just a very simple cross. Okay, the pattern is super simple. If you didn't want to do white, you could change out the background fabric. It's just a very simple pattern. It's squares that you're going to put together. Easy for a beginner. This one is adorable. Like you could do it on any size. You can make it bigger because the quilt blocks, like you would just add or take away. If you have a Cricut, the easiest thing to do with this is to cut out from the pattern, like upload it and then cut it out using your Cricut machine. But each block has an airplane. And again, it can be made small, the size for a crib, or like you can see here, they've put it in like probably like a full size bed. But you could do twin, full, any size. Like this is so easy to adjust. This, I think it is just super cute. Again, you could use your Cricut if you have one, or just use a pair of scissors and go around the waves, and then you're just going to sew those together. This is great if you've got scrap fabric, or just to find, um, like a fat quarter bundle would be super easy to use with this too. But I love the colors. I think they're just really pretty, really boy, right? I think this is perfect for a beginner. If you're a beginner, this is super simple, okay? Every single block is a rectangle, okay? And then you're just going to do rows, and then you're going to offset that row and do the next row, okay? You can do like they did and do different colors. My suggestion would be to get fat quarter bundles that you can get off of Amazon and just simply kind of put the colors together that you want, okay? But this would be a perfect, really super cute quilt, something they'll keep forever for a little boy. This is another one that's going to use those fat quarters, okay? So they've just taken a fat quarter bundle, they have taken off the edges, so using your rotary cutter, take off the edges, super simple, okay? The edges have just a little bit of that solid. I just think this would be super simple if you're newer to quilting because the blocks are bigger. One thing you want to look at is just you don't want it to, if you're brand new, like you don't want it to, a bunch of tiny little pieces that you're trying to make sure you get exactly even. And so this would be a really easy one to do. I think this is adorable. Now, I will say I think it's probably a little bit more, maybe a little more intermediate. Just my thoughts from quilting. But these are just arrows. Some are going that way, some are going this way. Would just be super cute. And if you're like, I don't want white, Connie, then take off the white and do like a different color on the back, okay? You can always switch out colors. This one's just pretty. And here's the thing, it's just two squares. If you look at it, there's a square and then there's a square that's turned just a little bit. Okay, perfect way. Again, use fat quarter bundles, use your scrap fabric. This would just be precious. Super precious for a little one. This one's called hot cross buns, and it's just squares made into X's. And then it's got some other squares. I would say probably a little bit more intermediate if you're a beginner. But I will say this, it's not that hard, okay? So you would just take and do step by step, create a block, do the next block, and then you're going to put those blocks together, okay? Not too hard. Just have to have a little patience. This is another super easy beginner quilt. Okay, so you can see here it's got rectangles and it's got squares. Because that's the easiest thing if you're a beginner quilter. squares and rectangles. Okay. And then they took this really fun, I found some fun fabric on Amazon that has like storybook panels that's about the same size as this. And I've got it linked in the blog post. Super cute. Like you could do like a little story time with it, or just find, similar fabric. So super cute for little boys. And then finally, like I think this is just classic. I think it's just classic. Again, if you don't want to do the white, do a different color on the background. Okay. Um, but it's just each square has little rectangles that are created then into squares. Okay, so it's just a lot of little squares made into bigger squares. So it's super easy for you to do. But any of these patterns are just perfect for like a baby boy quilt. So tell me which one you're going to make. Okay, make sure you download all, like any of the patterns that you're wanting. Okay, but any of them you can easily do.